And that's sad.
Hi, I'm Matt. Adjective Matt, something Matt, someday Matt. We got Jesse, we got TK, and our producer Phil. But what are we? We are an AEW wrestling podcast, aren't we? A bunch of friends that have known each other for a long time because we are old.
Our collective wrestling knowledge is like 60 plus years.
I mean, you
It's
guys
like-
don't know me.
Do you know what kind of a
Right.
flex that is? It's an amazing flex.
1.25 Meltzers.
Really, for me, I just really got into AEW when you guys told me about it, and then I just became a huge mark for it.
Mm-hmm. Huge mark indeed.
And then
Yeah.
the pandemic hit, and it was all about wrestling because all my other sports died.
We did have wrestling. Wrestling did take a boom in the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
Wrestling was really good for that. It was rough sometimes, but they
they
managed.
did what they could.
We managed.
Yeah, the Tuesday Night Wars or Wednesday Night Wars, not Tuesday.
Absolutely. AEW crushed WWE developmental. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It's like when Homer beats all the kids in the Frank Grimes episode. Or look at Homer Simpson. He's competing with children. Yeah. And he's beating their brains in. And that's what AEW did to the WWE children. They beat their brains in. Then they hired a bunch of them, and that's awesome. Everybody wins.
Except Ring of Honor.
Except Ring of Honor.
no, Ring of Honor is bringing down AEW a little bit, in my opinion.
That's why I said Ring of Honor does not win.
Oh, man. Well, maybe AEW doesn't win either. Maybe it's all lies, Nick. But we love
man. Everything
it.
is
Warts
lies.
and all.
But
And
it's
we're
still
gonna
real.
Talk about,
It's still real to me, damn
It's
it.
still real to all of us.
I mean, you made the only colorless Mox Ohio
I did.
because AEW.
I did.
Yeah.
Mox Ohio is my third favorite Mox.
Who's your first?
Mox Gephardt.
Who's your fourth?
That would be myself.
Who's your 27th?
That would be Wheeler Yuta.
Damn it.
Wait,
Yeah.
so Punk wasn't lying when he said Mox is always the third best member of every group he's in.
Yes.
He's the third best. We love AEW. Yeah, guys, we love it. Warts
Oh, I
and all.
love it.
And we're gonna get our rocks off by talking about the warts a lot. But that doesn't
Also,
mean
the
we
things
don't
we love. I really liked that women's segment from tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
And the match was pretty all right.
Yeah. But I don't really care about after that. But I actually like seeing Rio because I don't know. The Japanese people know how to wrestle.
Sometimes, yeah,
I
the
still want
ones
what's
that
her
are
face to
good are
come
good,
back.
just like everyone else. Yeah, the good ones are good, and the lousy ones are lousy.
I like Sheeta.
Yeah,
It was nice to see her.
Great.
Sheeta's phenomenal. She
Sheeta's
can win,
God,
she could
yeah.
lose in any match, and it's usually a good match. Doesn't matter. I hate that she keeps getting thrown into tag team matches because then it's like, oh great, you don't have a singles feud. So it was nice to see a singles match tonight, even though you just knew she was going to lose.
I kind of hope she gets back with her feud with Serena Deeb.
Not
And they
me.
just keep that going forever. That's
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. Deeb just makes whoever she wrestles look really good.
It went
And
on
she
way
was
too
good
long.
anyways, so it's even better.
She is good, but way too long. And to do a feud that long with somebody that gets that heated, and one of the participants, doesn't speak English, it's tough. It
Yeah.
limits it. Nothing against her. I can't speak Japanese, but it limits kind of what you can do for an elongated feud, unless you have a manager type with her, and that's too obvious. Everybody else in AEW doesn't need a manager, gets a manager. Jade Cargill is stuck with a manager forever, even though she can talk. And Sheeta, go ahead and talk for a minute and a half, rather than have someone golden with the words do the talking for you.
yeah. Sometimes that decision making is asked backwards from Mr. Tony Khan, president and CEO.
AKA
Or
flexible.
as Wikipedia says, it's owned by Shahid Khan and his son Tony, which I just found hilarious.
Tony getting the boy treatment.
But not
What
like
a lucky
real
boy he is.
Not one
so-
of Dalton's boys.
Oh, if only Tony Khan should be one of Dalton's boys. There should be a masked boy, and then it's finally revealed to be Tony Khan, who just throws money in the air. And Dalton Castle is showered by money.
Perfect.
So TK.
Yes, sir.
TK, you are TK, and Tony Khan is TK. What do we do about that?
We don't talk about that because it upsets me more than it
We
should.
don't talk about TK. No.
We don't
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
that
No.
because I've been an internet GM and a wrestling fanatic longer than this boy who screams on the microphone at live events. This boy is us with money. That's all he is.
Well, why weren't you born to Shere Khan or Shere Khan?
Because
Shah
we live
Khan.
we live in the Midwest.
What's his name? Shah Khan?
I thought it was Shad.
Shahid. I think it's Shahid.
Shahid. Okay, Shere
I could
Khan,
be mispronouncing it,
he's-
but
Shere Khan is the tiger from the Jungle Book, I think, and that is not
Yeah,
Tony
Shere Khan
Khan's
is
father.
from the Jungle Book.
That's
Correct.
not his father.
Not Shaka Khan.
Not if only. Man, Dalton Castle rules. Let me tell you.
yeah.
A lot more of him.
I think you'll get more. That was a big entrance that they gave him. Tony Khan must like him.
Yeah, he got as many extras as the entire women's segment combined. So
That's true. And because they're men, they were paid better to be extras.
I was good with tonight.
I'm 1 hour in and I'm not sad. I'm pretty cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
That Regal MJF thing was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Regal
that was a
Regal did great, especially. It's like the rare time where MJF, I think, had somebody better in the ring in that promo.
a good extended promo segment.
Yeah.
Normally they go too long, but that was pretty good on both sides.
I mean, when
Him and Punk did it. That was awesome too. But that was second to that.
for me, when MJF was going off and Regal just sat there with that fucking smile on his face, he's like, all right, keep it going. I got you. I'll wait for you to finish. I'll put you in your place. It's fine. I love that.
The bit where he's just like, I hit people with brass knuckles because I like to hit people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
true.
could see the entire crowd looking and going, yeah, well, I get it. It makes sense.
He won him back over too because they were hot at him. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
he had him back by the end. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He's
That
really
was a
good.
good segment. Good promo digging through his past from MJF. Pretty smart fella there.
Yeah, and the best wrestling stuff because you don't know how much is bullshit and how much is real. It probably 100% bullshit, but
Yeah,
Maybe.
it could be 90-10 either direction.
yeah.
And
you
it
don't know.
really helped after all the run-ins at the end of the women's match to have that right after.
Yeah, you had Max Carney shit followed by Max Carney shit, but in a good way. In a
Yeah.
great way.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
wrestling's at its best.
We're gonna have all those women run out.
And
Because we
and
need
the
to spend
sound
as many
guy,
as we can.
the telepathic sound guy, Rio is here and she plans on coming out. Hit the music. And then right before she comes out, the sound guy knows it. And he hits her music.
Oh, she was in my top 5 to get cut.
Well, that's coming up or has already happened, depending on how this is cut up and if it's even used. So
That's a segue. We're just going to use it
Save it.
uncut and go from there.
just that single word repeated 50 times with some
Cut.
spacey music behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was I haven't seen her in forever. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't really fit the
No,
mold with the women's division right now.
she doesn't. I mean, there's a place for her on a card, but she's a gimmick.
Yeah, and she
That's
hasn't
what
even
she
been
is.
on Dark.
Yeah.
She's a good wrestler. She's good at what she does, but it's just so God. When you're tiny compared to like Rey Mysterio, it's so hard to do anything in that ring.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just kind of looks silly. Like what's her name? Old Crutchy Magoo. The DMD's bitch. She's had a broken leg for 2 years.
Oh, Rebel.
Reba, not Rebel.
Reba. Yeah.
Reba, not Rebel. Rebel, not Reba.
When she took that drop kick by Rio, it was the Shawn Michaels cells. She was closer to one side of the ring, and she flew on the bump and then rolled until she was out of the ring. And it's extra funny when it's Rio, when it's like a 60-pound girl doing it. It's just, it's really fun. It might have been a normal cell, but when it's Rio doing it, it just looks like, wow. You just kicked Rebel out of the ring.
It looks like a toddler.
But there's a place for her. I mean, you could do stuff with her, right? And she is talented. Been doing it forever.
I just thought it was funny because, like, oh, she was my top 5, and now she's back. Like,
she is back.
Back with a vengeance. About to get you.
These top 5s have to be on the TV enough to be sick of them, too.
Oh.
I mean, you can't just be like, well, I mean, you can. It's done. Whatever you have, you have. And I'll criticize you later.
As is tradition.
As is tradition. Yeah. So, you want to put poor Riho on the chopping block. You can do that. She has been a champion. I mean, she's a fair chop, even though she's not on TV, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
But she was the number 2 champion?
She's a second.
She was the first.
First, and then she lost to Sheeta?
No, she lost to Rose.
She lost to Nyla Rose.
So it went...
And then Nyla Rose lost to Sheeta.
Riho, Rose, Sheeta. Got it.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that we all have Alex Reynolds on this list?
I mean, kind of. I kind of. Wink, wink.
Like Johnny Hungy.
Oh, come on. You guys don't have any of the Dark Order guys on your list.
Maybe I have all of them.
Is it just one giant stable?
Okay, remember the other day when I told you I had 7?
Yeah.
Turns out when I went over it again today at lunch, I didn't have 7. I only had 12. So we had to combine some. And I'm not even picking on Fuego. Like Fuego can go leave, but there's no point, like he's a jobber. He's not on the regular show. He's always used as a gag. You need those guys. Everybody here has offended my eyeballs too often, too frequently. And they can go. They can go to TNA where they exist but don't exist all at the same time.
I mean, this isn't a person, but we've talked about this, but like the faction Dark Order.
Yeah.
Like,
it needs to go.
Faction, just close it. I know they don't want to because of Brody Lee.
But it's been a year. They need to go.
But it's
been more than a year now. It's been like 2, hasn't it?
Well, Brody's passing was just over a year. Like it was a year, like a couple weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Pandemic time is weird. It's just, everything's weird.
Yeah, just like the Dark Order just needs to go. Go Reynolds and Silver, put them together. Do their own tag thing, be goofy.
Not even that. I mean, Alex Reynolds, Preston Vance, and Evil Uno can go away. They don't matter. Their gimmick doesn't matter. They're always in the background shot. And you keep, what's his face? Stu Grayson, because he's funny and his gimmick is hilarious and he can work in any scene without the Dark Order.
Stu Grayson isn't there anymore.
Is that who John Silver is what I meant, not Stu Grayson.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to You Suck and That's Sad, an AEW podcast. I'm TK. That's Matt and Jesse. Let's talk some All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, guys. So we should talk format. We're going to jibba jabba every week about AEW, right?
Yeah.
About the goings-ons.
That seems like the plan of what we should be doing on the cast of the pod.
We might talk about other wrestling too, but the focus is going to be on AEW.
And every week, except for the weeks that we don't do it, we're going to record a podcast about the goings, ins, and ons, and then we're going to have one subject that we talk about. It might be our favorite X ever, our favorite Y ever, our least favorite, our most hated, our favorite events, Or
We
like
can
today.
rotate. Yeah, we can rotate the topic between us, so we're each picking one every couple of weeks. That way, it stays a little fresher.
Oh, that's fun. We'll rotate that every week. That's official. That's history made right there.
Sometimes I have good ideas. That's my one for today, though. So please don't ask me for any more.
All right, Jexky, what are we talking about today?
About any AEW wrestler we want to cut in the active roster.
We're making cuts.
I'm going to go ahead and start this off.
Did I say that
both.
wrong?
With
We're
both.
starting.
I'm gonna start this off and go right into it with both of the varsity blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. I don't need them. I want them gone.
Oh, real? They're
useless.
Talk about it.
Okay. First of all, if I had to pick one, it's Griff Garrison. Pillman can stay, but kind of they don't need to. He's just gonna flounder as the number 30th person on a roster that has 100 people, and that's not important anyway. So cut him as a team, let him do what he wants. They can literally go somewhere as a team and get better. But it's really just about Griff Garrison. He's really green. It's underwhelming. Can you guys name a single match that was super relevant other than a spot here or there, or anything super recent they've done in the past 3 years? Pillman has had some great stuff. Pillman has had some great stuff. I don't remember much about Griff.
He got beat up real bad by Malachi Black. That was funny.
He got wrecked by MJF.
Anybody can hit that spot, though. You know that. Anybody can take the getting wrecked spot.
Okay, what if?
But neither. So here was the upside to me putting them on my list, and both of them, but especially Griff, they have solid upsides in that their in-ring work is not bad nor sloppy. It's just not really rememberable. Segments can be, but their actual in-ring work, I can't tell you anything that those boys do. So go out and do it better. I didn't give a shit about other tag teams until they went away and came back somewhere. Sometimes you just got to go get yourself. They're on my list. They're on my list.
Okay, how about this? Griff goes away for a while, right? He comes back and they play it off like he's Marco Stunt, who had a growth spurt. And he teams with Jungle Boy.
To finally turn on Christian.
I don't know. At that point, who knows what's even going on?
No, but it's like the varsity blondes are like the Dark Order right now. It was cool for the first 3 years, but it can move on. It's time to go. This is a 3-year-old act that didn't really go anywhere, and the best part of the act got taken away from Malachi Black's stable, and then he left. So,
Griff.
Yeah, they did when they lost Julia Hart.
When they lost Julia, they lost the fans. Nobody gave a shit after that.
Yeah, and she wasn't any. She's still green.
Yeah, she's green. She's just got a great look and a great personality, so she can do it in the rings. Also, she can take bumps. So,
have they even been out on TV since they lost Julia?
A couple times.
Weren't they just on Dark where they lost their name?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Tony, they lost their name to Tony Nese.
Full disclosure, I don't watch Dark. I'll read Dark, but I won't watch Dark. I won't watch it, or I won't pay attention to it because it's so out of sync with what's happening on Dynamite and Rampage. Because
the main event last night, watch it.
Is that okay?
That's when the Ass Boys came out as FTR.
No, it sounds like they're actually doing stuff on those shows. That's sweet.
Yeah, so they came out as FTR. And
that's great.
They did their finisher to win the match. They did FTRs. I'm like, okay. Nice. Like, let's do this.
That's so funny. The big rig. The big rig. All right.
So, Jesse, who you got on your list? Who's at the bottom of your list, Jesse?
Bottom of my list.
That's not a Dark Order member. I think we've established that Dark Order needs to go, and most of them can go. But, All
right. My number one was Angelico.
Your number one meaning like, yeah. He's on my
first person I picked to get cut.
I have him / Serpentico on my list.
Are they still alive? I mean, they just job on Dark, basically, don't they?
They're still on the roster.
Angelico gets wins. He's a part of the Andrade family office, but he doesn't do anything. and all he does is come out and dance all weird. Like, why do you change? I like him in the ring. I do. But his gimmick, I'm done. Like, change or just go. And that's really how I feel about him.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. It's the same line of thought with the guys that it's like, all right, your gimmick hasn't gotten over in 3 years, kind of stale. Time to go. Thanks for being here. You're an AEW original. Okay, let's go.
I mean, he lost his tag partner.
Yeah.
And so the hybrid 2 or the what were they called?
I don't remember. Hybrid.
Something with hybrid 2.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's how memorable he was. That's how memorable he was. He's leaving Matt speechless.
You know what? If they're on Dark only, they don't exist. So neither of those wrestlers you're mentioning are real to me. You may as well be mentioning like Starman from NES
the only
Pro
thing
Wrestling.
that I think,
they're already fired. I didn't even know Angelico
right.
was still with the company. I shit you not. I didn't even know he was still with the company.
I don't think I did until I looked at the rosters.
I didn't think about like the guys who are actually on every week when I was putting my list together.
I can't be sick of what I don't see. So everybody I'm mentioning gets regular screen time on Dynamite or Rampage. But hey, this gives us a more diverse list. And when it comes to firing people, that's fun.
Who's a surprise entrant on your list, Matt?
A surprise entrant?
Yeah, that I wouldn't know. I would be like, oh, really?
Well, maybe you didn't think of them, but once you say it, it makes a lot of sense. I'm Canon Matt Hardy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talented guy, but body is what the body is.
You're going right now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
It's never really worked out that great for him. Every gimmick he's had has been as bizarre as it has been different from the last. Jeff is gone, so that second little bump of relevance.
Jeff is still technically on the roster. But
he is still technically on the roster. I mean, if they want to get a little last Hardy's run at some point, I guess go for it. But that moment's past, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Jeff
the only reason to keep him around,
on getting right.
Yeah.
Jeff should focus on getting himself right. And I don't know. They want to pop back up for a retirement run in WWE. I'd be open to that if Jeff can get it right. But Hardy's not doing anything for anybody right now. I don't think I need him on TV, and he has not gone away since he's been here, basically. So I am firing Matt Hardy.
Then I have to agree with you.
I would let Matt Hardy go. I'd wave on the way out.
All due respect. And also disclaimer, just about every single person we talk about here is a super talented person. We still want them to get paid. This isn't like a spiteful, hateful thing. It's just like criticizing any other pro sport. You'd be better than anybody I've ever known at doing what you do, but we want the best of the best for our entertainment because we're selfish pricks and we deserve to get what we want.
And we do pay money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I'll ever get what I want again in AEW, but that's besides the point.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
We're talking about Matt Jackson, right?
Obviously. Oh, wait. And Darius Martin.
Hey, we know we're talking about Brandon Cutler.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Brandon Cutler's been on Dark the past few weeks, man.
I saw he had a singles, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a singles match today, too.
Speaking of that stable, let's segue into someone on my list. And Michael Nakazawa can actually get fired. He doesn't need to be around for any reason at all.
See, that's a nobody. Now you're mentioning
he wrestles.
Okay.
He's wrestled on Dark. He wrestles.
When was his last match?
He also takes up segment time, and I hate it. It's no different than Reba.
Can I skip ahead and name my next one? I want Paul White gone because I'm sick of Paul White.
Yes.
Really?
No, it's just
he's making fun of me.
He wrestles about as much as Nakazawa did.
Okay, fine. Michael Nakazawa, you can stay on the list.
I mean, you can fire him, can him. Go ahead.
Yeah, fine, he's fired. Get out of here.
Nakazawa talk. Make fun.
I don't need you. I just want Kenny Omega back.
Yeah.
I mean, you damn it.
That's my thing. Nakazawa can stay and get a paycheck if it means Kenny is back and happy. But please, that's okay.
Look, Nakazawa's funny.
Yeah, it's fine.
He makes me laugh when he's on the screen, but he just isn't there anymore. So,
yeah.
I still prefer Cutler with the spray cans, but I also, I like my wrestling to be consistent and not fucked up. Speaking of wrestling being consistent, Jesse, who was on your list?
My number 2 was Griff Garrison, who we've already gone over.
Jesse, who would you substitute for Griff Garrison?
Fuego.
Okay, if you fire Fuego, you have to pick a new wrestler to go into his jobber spot.
New jobber?
Yeah, who's getting transformed into a jobber now? A squash.
Well, it's either Matt Sydal or he's getting fired because he's the next one on my list.
I was going to say Matt Sydal probably would be next. Or his brother. But I don't think his brother is contracted, is he?
No, I don't think so.
He just shows up whenever.
Dante Martin is his brother whenever Darius Martin is hurt.
Yeah, those four just make one sibling quartet. So
I like Matt Sydal's experienced veteran promo work that's like competent but terrible at the same time.
I have a soft spot for Matt Sydal. I don't want to cut him, but he doesn't need to be there. I'd rather watch wrestlers I want to watch instead of just ones that job.
I was okay with Sydal with Dante.
That's what I mean. I like him, and I've liked him for almost 20 years. I've seen him wrestle for years. But he can go. He doesn't need to take up time on he let him go to Ring of Honor. He doesn't need to take up time on my AEW.
Listen, Nick, I know you think you're sick of me, but you give me the chance and I'll show you who's sick of who. That's my Matt Sydal.
Hey guys, this is Tony Khan. I just signed Matt Sydal to a 3-year contract.
Well, damn you again, TK. Damn you again.
We refer to him as Flexo on this show.
And what's that a reference of? I forget.
The Futurama?
I don't want to talk about it, guys. It hurts.
Yeah, it's the Futurama. Yeah. It's the Futurama.
Listen, he stole my name and I'm not happy about it. And there's only one GM named TK and it's fucking me. It's been me since 1996. And that fucking prick, Flexo, Tony Khan, doesn't know any better. Okay? But I still love him because he gives me wrestling.
He was AIM buddies with Lou Thez in 1996. And you were AIM buddies with a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who knew Violent J. So, I mean, honestly, his friend list was,
when you say that when we're in our late 30s, it doesn't sound as cool.
Who's in the late 30s?
Sorry, you old fucks.
Yeah.
I'm in my late 30s.
No, I know you guys are. I'm not. That's just okay. So there's my 3.
We've gone on a fire spree.
So that's my 4.
Jeez.
If you want my last one.
Yeah, go ahead. You're just spooging your load.
Well, Nick asked, so I just was like, yeah, whatever.
Hey, we can blow the load. You can save it. Is it a doozy?
Not really.
No? You don't have anyone special that you'd fire? How about we skip you?
Yeah.
Matt, how many you got on your list still? You said you started with 94, right?
Yeah, so we're blowing through everybody else's. So
that's fine.
I'm going to go through my entire list here. So we have like some people angry at something, I guess, right? The least controversial name on my list, and I'm shocked she hasn't been mentioned, but Marina Shafir or Shafir or whatever the fuck she is.
I block her out of my memory. I forgot she's a wrestler.
She would be the exception to the rule. Everyone we're talking about is really talented still because she doesn't get it. She's good at something and a lot of things probably, but pro wrestling isn't one of them.
Yeah, she can go.
She can go. I mean, I've never seen anybody like look more awkward without
not only that,
like they're botching
the crowd.
Anything.
I remember the reactions of the crowd, or dare I say, no reactions of every crowd ever. And that includes what, the 3 times we've seen her in the past year and a half live between all of us combined, 4 times. Like, oh.
And they stuck her with chamber music when she comes out. So it's like, hey, even if we're the kind of person that would get excited to see her, you're falling asleep when she walks out extremely deliberately and slowly to chamber music. It's terrible. Like, take the Ultimate Warrior's talent, but instead of giving him a higher energy entrance with like really pumping music, have them walk really slow to classical music. And Jesus Christ, we're all spared the Warrior, but we're also spared an entertaining 5 minutes at the very least when she's on TV. She goes, gentlemen. She goes.
Yeah, she can go, but that just made me want to pair Riho with the Big Show, and I don't know why.
Well, it's the Riho. Roosh is my next. Roosh can go.
You know, I don't know enough about the man to say, yeah, he can go. I've seen him in 3 matches?
Mm-hmm. He is entirely lucha brained as far as his ring psychology goes, without doing any of the cool and insane lucha spots. So he's like another big worker, and he's not a terrible worker, and what he does fits somewhere, but it doesn't really mesh with most of the roster. And unless you want to like restrict him to crazy lucha spot fests where he can be the lone big guy and still participate without grinding it all to a halt, I don't really see him able to do much of anything else. And his matches all feel kind of samely. So I don't know. I don't got a spot for Roosh. Jesse, what do you feel? How do you like Roosh?
I feel like without Andrade, there's no reason he should be there.
Yeah.
Like it seems like Andrade is the only reason he's there.
I feel like that is why he's there, and it's literally because they just want they need more audience, more global. They're trying to draw in more eyes from more everybody. That's why he's hiring people.
No, I think they were trying to make Andrade happy too. Like get his buddy in there.
I mean, hell, they were probably trying to make Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair happy just based off of
La Facción Ingubernables.
So here's one I got on my list. I got a couple more that Ortiz can go.
Absolutely, he's on my list too. Well,
I was thinking the same thing.
Ortiz is already gone. Santana's the one that's still there.
No, it's the opposite.
Not according to Wikipedia. It's not, my friend.
Doesn't one of them just have a match with Eddie? I mean, that's besides the point. Pretty sure it's Ortiz.
Ortiz is still there.
Well then.
Yeah, no, but he shouldn't be. Ortiz should go.
And apparently racist.
It's lived his time. It's gone past the Inner Circle 1.0. Tried the tagging with Eddie. Whatever happened with his own tag team partner, that neither here nor there. That's other issues. Don't care. And he's kind of floundered. I know Ruby got hurt, and so he was kind of then stuck again. But Ortiz can go.
Yeah, whatever one's left can go. Ortiz, he can go.
Yeah, you can go.
Another one high up on my list is Nyla Rose. I think she can skedaddle every time I see her on the screen. I don't think she's safe.
She should stay, Nick. We're going to have our first loud disagreement.
No, I don't find anything about the in-style work in the ring fun to watch. And the only thing I like about outside is Vicky Guerrero.
I would can Vicky Guerrero before I would can Nyla Rose.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Please do.
So I was saying she was on my list. Nyla was. Until I saw her steal the belt from Jade. And I'm like, oh, I love this.
Damn right.
Like she's a TBS champion going against Anna JAS. Like, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like,
I'm the polar opposite.
Yeah, get rid of her.
I'm the polar opposite.
You're only on Dark, teaming with Emi Sakura, I believe. And then they started doing this, and I'm like, I'm having fun, so yeah. She was my last one, but then that happened, so I want her to stay now.
There is no one else on the women's roster like her. She is unique to the roster. She's not awful in the ring. I mean, she's not going to blow your socks off.
No, I think she's awful in the ring. I disagree there. I think she's unsafe. She's awful, and she's too slow.
Who has she hurt?
Safe.
Who has she hurt?
She hasn't hurt anyone.
I didn't say she's hurt. I just said she does her moves
said she's
unsafe.
And typically, when people are accused of being unsafe, it's because they hurt somebody. Anyways, throwing these wild accusations around because you are a hate monger, Nick.
No, I definitely just don't like her in-ring work. It's not good at all.
All right, so moving past all the bigotry, I'm going to go on to my next one. Private Party. I like Mark Quinn a lot. I like him. I think he's super talented, but I
can't name either of those guys.
The Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
neither of
Who do
them
they
are
belong
bad.
to? Do they belong to Andrade or Matt Hardy or Tony Khan?
They just got bought by the dumb lawyer guy, the fake ass Mark Sterling, right? Or was that La Facción Ingubianables? It was La Facción. Yeah. It was Andre the assistant, who
and Matt Hardy is now.
Yeah, they are all owned by La Facción. But I'd get rid of them because their skill set is identical to so many other acts I'd rather keep, you know. They kind of are like top flight in a lot of ways as far as the acrobatics go. They don't wrestle lucha style, but their aerial stuff is like the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks. So, I mean, you have 3 teams I'd keep over them that kind of do the same thing as them. And you have a bunch of other more traditional tag talent between the Gun Club, the Acclaimed, and FTR and all that. Your tag division is amazing, and it's also really crowded. It'd be a shame to just keep them buried on Dark, but putting them in for 5 or 10 minutes here and there on weekly TV is just death. And being with Hardy doesn't help them.
They'll end up as a trios team and just always be a trios with randoms.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't cry if you kept him and actually used him well. But as it stands right now, I'd let Private Party go.
I really liked Private Party when I first saw him.
Totally.
So I always have a little piece
when
I see him. So I'm like, I can't agree with you on there, but you make very valid points. But I just all love go. Yeah.
This would be we'd hope to rehire you, but go develop and work and be great somewhere and come home someday, maybe. Then on my list, I had the entire Dark Order. Although Johnny Hungy can probably stay in some capacity.
Still have one on my list that's at the top of the list. I don't think you guys would ever guess this person.
Oh, do it. Do your thing.
Adam Cole.
Ooh, Adam Cole, baby. That's a good spicy take. Wow. Story time with TK.
As much as I love this guy, and you guys know how much I actually love this guy, he does not
saw you behind the club that night with
this AEW. He does not fit the AEW model at all, and that's sad because those are all his friends and his girlfriend. But I don't think he meshes well with his "I'm Adam Cole, baby" gimmick at all. And he just kept getting stuck in the ring and doing the same thing over and over. And I think he'd be happier if he was somewhere else.
Adam Cole, are you canon Adam Cole, Jesse? Can you get behind these words?
No. As much as I was like annoyed with how everyone liked him so much, but it's like his talent.
Like, I know he's been injured, so it's like, okay, why am I putting him on here? But I also be like, if he goes away, like, nobody talks about him anymore, and he's still going to have a good career. And then he comes back later, and he's great again. If he just comes back in like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, whenever he's done with his concussion protocol, then like, okay, is he back to just he doesn't have his tag team, he still doesn't have his Bucks, and he's just boom boom Adam Cole mid card guy with no singles feud because there's 40 other people that are promised feuds.
I doubt to see him in the mid card.
He'll be Adam Cole, Owen Hart Cup tournament winner. That's who he'll be.
I mean, winning that along with Britt winning the women's is amazing. But sometimes I don't want him to go. I like him, but I would fire him. I think it would.
Baby. I'm keeping Adam Cole and using him better. I think the absence was good. It sucks that it was because of an injury, but I definitely was getting sick of him. But
well, you keep Adam Cole and Nyla Rose, and I'll keep my poor choices.
Yeah, I'll keep them. Plus, you fire Adam Cole, now you got an angry Britt Baker. But hey, just me, or does it seem like Britt Baker's pops are getting a little bit quieter? She's definitely not as white hot as she once was.
The crowd's tired. They're just tired of the women's division being shit on.
Yeah, but in the way beginning, when the AEW's women's division was like literally just indie as fuck.
But they only had her. They had like 4 people.
Fine, but now they're not cheering anybody, would be the point.
I think what the fans are noticing is that they're going to see all the women in one segment. So it's like, oh, okay.
It's because they love Jamie Hayter. Let's just stop ignoring the elephant in the room. and
Point
all
five.
agree that Jamie Hayter should be crowned women's champion immediately. Like
She should be crammed
podcast.
women's champion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would say cut Thunder Rosa.
Ooh,
The current real AEW world champion.
Women's world champion, yeah.
We can just say world champion. It's fine.
Okay. Cut her. Wow. Everyone complains about her according to the dirt sheets or whatever. I don't know if any of that's true.
No, she's a very good in-ring worker. I wouldn't cut her at all. She's just not good on the mic because English is her second language, but okay.
She's also not deaf on the mic either. Thank God.
And she's but when people complain that she's sandbags, like, come on. When you hear it from multiple people, I mean, it's all hearsay too.
I mean, she definitely was sandbagging Marina Shafir that one match. That was like obvious to the eyes, but Marina's terrible. And, you know, I don't know what's going on between them. I'd keep her. She's too talented to drop.
She really is.
But here's my last one. Here's my last one, and it's a duo, and it's a spicy take about the women's division.
But she wasn't on my list. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, okay. We're throwing them out here. We're going through these so fast, and I was really hoping for a number 1, number 2, number 3 kind of thing, but it got thrown into chaos pretty early. So this is okay. We're riffing now,
as it should,
as is tradition. And now I'm going to riff about Ty Connie and Anna Jay because I'm firing them both.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. Both of them are embarrassing when they talk. Anna Jay, I think, is pretty all right in the ring, but not, knock my socks off. And Ty Connie, I think, is better served as a valet. She's super athletic, but just her matches are, all of her transitions are really, really, really awkward. And again, just death on the mic.
You're right.
On the mic.
On a women's roster of 25 people, and you're like numbers 18 and 19 and 17. You're like, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, they could go to TNA or something, be knockouts. They still have a knockouts division and Impact. Is that a thing?
I mean, hell, they can go to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they could go as long as they're not allowed to talk.
I mean, Sammy can go to Ring of Honor too. He can never grace AEW screens again, and I'd be happy.
Oh, Sammy's so great.
He's not on my list, but
yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't fire him because he makes money and he's great at what he does. And he has a punchable face, and I hate his face and I want to punch it, but that's why he's great at what he does.
Yes, he should always be a heel, and also God bless him for kissing Ty Connie, because every time he's kissing Ty Connie, she can't talk, and that thank you, Sammy. That's awesome. I don't have to hear her. It's amazing. And whatever Anna JAS is doing with I don't even want to pretend to do it. It's terrible. It's
like she just screams.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I think maybe Jericho insists she does that because then it makes us forget about how screechy and terrible he is half the time he announces.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm like, oh man, now this screechy guy doesn't sound half as bad compared to Anna JAS.
That's why Jericho getting his new improved roles backstage with signing his new 3-year contract is a little scary, because he's one of those and stuffs everything into every segment. So every segment is going to have 14 people in it to get everybody on screen.
Yes, God bless him. He's one of my favorite wrestlers ever, but he's somebody that needs someone to tell him no. You can't let him do whatever he wants.
Well, now he's going to be the one telling Tony, that's cool, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, putting himself over 6-year-olds.
I honestly did you guys read that earlier that Chris Jericho signed that 3-year contract and has more extended roles, including backstage?
I did not. Wait, save that for the news segment we just invented here. News by TK.
Yeah, Chris Jericho signs a 3-year extension with AEW.
News.
Which, definitely also includes backstage stuff, it says. Which is funny because I think that means that Kenny, Nick, and Matt aren't coming back.
Maybe. That'd make me so sad.
Kenny's contract is up in 4 months. He ain't coming back. I will weep tears of One Winged Angel cries, but I hope he comes back, and I will weep when he does. Seeing him at All Out was... I didn't know it'd be the last time I'd see him, CM Punk, or the Bucks.
Yeah. That was
or
yeah,
Malachi.
man. Well, Malachi did that thing where he like kind of
Malachi's
said
coming
goodbye.
back.
He like yeah,
He did that thing.
But he's-
we
but he's-
were right there, man.
yeah. He stopped
did it
and like
right
looked
by
our
us.
direction, and it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were like, what was that?
What was the thing?
After it wasn't on the pay-per-view, but when he walked back to the stage, he like bowed to all the fans and turned and like bowed.
Yeah, he did like Miro did something with him too. Wasn't Miro his tag team partner? Or they were fighting?
No, it was the
they were
whole
feuding.
They did something else. They did
the
some,
whole
like,
House of
respect
Black,
handshake
Buddy
or something.
Matthews and all them and Julia Hart all like did a huddle after the
Yeah.
match together.
Like off camera, we knew that like the show had went to like a 90-second like commercial reel for the home audience or something.
No,
based off what was on screen.
He is coming back though.
Yeah. He has said that too recently. Yeah.
That's what but everyone thought like, oh, he's gone. Like, no, House of Black is going to be strong.
Yeah, let him do what he wants.
Maybe we'll get Miro back.
He can come back in 3 months. He can come back and say, yeah, I would rehire Miro, right? He's not with AEW anymore, right?
He must. I don't think so. Yeah.
I haven't seen Miro do anything in a long time.
The good news is though he found God. The bad news is he found God.
The bad news is it was in Wisconsin.
Oh, jeez.
Did he found the real God?
Here's a new segment. Here's a new segment to segue from our news segment. Who would you hire right now?
Oh, we're gonna do like next week's topic already. All right, mini segment. Mini segment. Speed round. Okay.
Mini segment on You Suck and That's Sad, a wrestling podcast. I'm TK. That's Matt. That's Jesse. Let's talk wrestling.
Jesse will be right back.
Jesse's got to go.
He's got to poop.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, we got 5 minutes.
Everybody. So speed round.
Well, we could just bullshit for the next couple minutes while Jesse's gone, and then Phil will send a new link anyway. Anything?
Nick,
yeah.
Which professional wrestler do you think you would have the best chance against in an actual fight?
My name is TK.
I was talking to my cat, Nick. What up, cat? TK. Hey,
that's me.
TK, what wrestler do you think you could take in a real fight?
Define real fight. What do I have to do in this physical fight? For the viewers at home and the listeners at home, I don't fight. I curl up in a ball or run away or have somebody else fight. So
if there's any viewers at home, we are fucked.
Talking for the future, just getting in a roll.
No, it's a life or death, like challenge at a Vulcan wedding kind of thing. You have to fight them.
Hornswoggle.
Ooh, okay. Good. I'd go with Riho.
Nope. Hornswoggle, Dylan Post.
I figure Hornswoggle, he might.
Or
I gotta go Riho.
You know what? Nope.
Yeah. I think
after this Sunday, Viliano 4.
Oh God, man!
I think I could take that old man. All I got to do is cut his forehead, and he dies.
No, I wouldn't mess with anybody that looks like that.
Yeah, they make Abdullah the Butcher look clean.
Oh, I mean Abdullah's still worse. Abdullah's head is legendary. He looks like he's an anime character.
Yeah, the only time I've ever seen Abdullah the Butcher live was when I went to visit Jesse like 8 years ago.
You guys went to a match and Abdullah the Butcher was there?
Nope. It was IWA King of the Death matches, and I saw the show and then went to Jesse's house afterwards. Are you shaking your head? No. Do you want me to pull up the card?
I didn't see it, so
no, yeah, you didn't, but I went to your house.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back to You Suck and That's Sad, an AEW wrestling podcast. I'm TK. That's Matt. That's Jesse. Let's talk about All Elite Wrestling.
We're in enough talk. It's time for the main event.
We talk about how awesome that segment is no matter what he's doing. And the more he fucks it up, like I feel like he just should get really high right before each one of those and just, I got no idea what's going on. Every segment.
He is really high and he's great. And God bless Mark Henry. And that was a great hire, even though he doesn't do anything that they hired him to do.
He doesn't need to do anything. He does that. He does enough on Fridays for 30 seconds once a night.
Well, that's the one thing my wife loves is all turn on Rampage, and as soon as he comes on, she'll just say, "It's time for the main event."
Yeah.
Every time.
Speaking of good AEW hires, let's talk about Renee Paquette. That's a great pickup, believe it or not.
Yeah, she does some things.
Now Tony Schiavone has nothing to do except for be useless at the announcers table, though.
But Tony did just pick up all those jobs backstage to keep control of the talent and staff, and he's done such a great job with that.
He gives Tony Khan his Adderall whenever he needs it. Tony Khan has a button.
He
brings Tony Khan
the A button.
his Diet Dr. Pepper and his Adderall.
He handled Tony's the Andrade and Sammy situation perfectly. And it only showed by Sammy winning the main event.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone's a mensch. He's a great guy, but he's not a very good wrestling announcer at this point in his life.
No, we can stick to Taz and Jericho. And, sometimes the mix-up does help. And it's nice to have JR and Taz and the Man in the Mask and Regal. And then on Dark, you'll have these other people come on. It's really nice to have that sometimes. Because sometimes people gel.
When Rico Bonney comes in for the ROH stuff, he's great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did he get his ass kicked tonight?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm at an hour and 9 minutes in the show. Dalton Castle, who began his entrance at the hour mark, I think.
Jericho doesn't like him.
Well, yeah, he's been doing that thing. He's been beating up all the employees. So, spoilers, Nick. Thanks. Now I know that the announcer gets beat. What are you gonna tell me next? Dalton Castle doesn't win. It's okay.
Next, I'm going to tell you how awesome Ray Phoenix and Penta Jr.
are. You should. They are really tremendous.
Yeah, I watched both their matches from this Triple Mania, and it was pretty great. Both those boys are tremendous. I wish they had singles runs in AEW because they would both be phenomenal. Every time Phoenix got hurt and Penta went on a little run, it was like, why can't we just put him in an actual feud? Because he has a mouthpiece already, and he can just be killer in the ring.
Phoenix is a super face when he wrestles alone. He is the kind of guy that could literally never be a real heel, but his work as a face and every single I've seen him in is great. Was that against Omega like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
That match was just holy shit, you guys.
Phoenix is pretty special.
Phoenix is basically the second coming of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he's Dominic if Dominic didn't suck.
Yeah.
Ray is just so good.
Yeah, he rules.
I was upset that they were doing the Death Triangle match too soon against the Best Friends.
They did.
Like, it was way too soon. Like, when they mentioned it before the match started, like, oh, they lost, or they had a match in September, like 7th or 8th, I think. And it's like, cool. It's barely been a month, and they're back together in the ring. And obviously, they're not going to win because you can't take the title off Pac right now.
Well, the storylines make sense from Flexo's point of view. Just, look at the Christian and Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy story.
Gosh.
Oh, the Vince Russification of Flexo's Adderall-ridden brain. You hate to see it. The swerve on a swerve. I'm a pretend to betray you just so I can betray him, but I was secretly betraying you for real the whole time.
And it's the same storyline with the Jericho Society and Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
Same exact. And it's like, how are you going to... Might as well be the same with Swerve and Keith Lee. They're doing are they, won't they, will they, are they, won't they kind of things. So
I don't mind the Swerve and Keith Lee thing. I kind of like it.
Out of all three of those, sure.
Same. And I like Swerve a lot.
Me too. I do like Swerve. Swerve is a great heel.
I feel they're going to turn on each other.
But Keith Lee's a teddy bear. Keith Lee is a stupid heel.
But he's not really a heel right now. They've been posing Keith Lee as the guy who, wants to, I need to keep my moral integrity here. I'm sorry, Swerve. I can't go along with you on this one. Indubitably.
But that doesn't work when you're like not the best and nobody's responding to them as the best.
No, but they're responding like crazy to him, and they're responding to Swerve specifically. And now that they threw this FTR wrinkle in it to break up the whole Acclaimed thing, I'm on board. I liked that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this
little
match
wrinkle.
next week will be good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it probably leads to Swerve and Keith Lee breaking up. But I mean, do you do FTR Acclaimed? Acclaimed is kind of way too over to lose right now, and you don't want FTR to lose to the Acclaimed. So
That's fine.
Swerve
You
and
do
Keith Lee
FTR
probably
acclaimed and
win dirty.
no, you do FTR acclaimed and just it'll be Ass Boys interview or something else.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could go in a lot of ways.
The Ass Boys are fueling that fire.
Ass Boys are going to interfere to give Swerve and Keith Lee the win. Swerve's going to be okay with it. Keith Lee is going to be like, "Don't, seriously, no, we can't do that." And then that animosity is going to lead to their breakup against the Acclaimed, where Acclaimed retain and move on to whatever they move on to next.
But the Ass Boys will then feud with FTR, which has been brewing for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're going to have fucking so much fun.
It's going to be great because they are awesome. And the Ass Boys are, man, those kids are already really good.
That new Acclaim shirt tonight was pretty badass. I want that Acclaim shirt, and I think I'm going to get one.
They're killing it with the merchandise.
Check out Monday's Dark main event. Just for the entrance.
I'll have to do that. Yeah.
Just for the entrance.
Who do they wrestle?
2 jobbers, as
Nice.
is tradition.
Yeah. I mean, you need that.
Yeah, but when they come out, they have like fucking cardboard belts. Like there's straps. I don't know if they're cloth, but they have cardboard like with written on world champions. And they're wearing FTR shirts that are cut off, so they show their belly buttons.
That's fantastic.
It's so funny.
That's fantastic.
Definitely worth the watch.
God bless the Ass Boys.
And their father is much better.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 83-year veteran in the industry. I'd hope he'd be better.
Daddy Ass is still working matches at this day and age. How fucking nuts is that?
It's incredibly nuts and awesome and hilarious that DX just had their old man reunion, and meanwhile the absent member is like more over than he has ever been.
AEW has Billy Gunn and Sting. Thanks, WCW.
And both can still go, and that's insane.
Didn't Billy and Swerve have that match last week?
They did, and it was great. It was a really solid match.
It ended in like no contest, right? Something happened.
No, Swerve won. He held the ropes to get the pin.
Right. But it was still a good.
Yeah.
The match went on a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
It was a really
13,
good match.
I got 13 minutes. I thought I'd get like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And it shouldn't be because he's like 83, as Matt said.
83. Yeah, he's ancient. And he looks amazing. Yeah,
he really does.
Yeah. God bless Billy Gunn and his Ass Boys. I mean, just the whole thing.
Like it's so much fun. And I think they're still building to. I think the Ass Boys are going to beat the Acclaimed at some point.
Oh, Jack Evans was that guy's name.
And Helico's partner?
Yeah.
I said that earlier.
Oh, I didn't hear it. My brain was thinking for it. My bad.
Yeah, it's like every AEW wrestler who does a hair match kind of is gone. Ortiz lost his hair. Jack Evans lost his hair. Like,
I really do think you guys should check out that Penta match from this past weekend.
I want to. I probably will.
That main event. Even Penta's entrance is probably one of the best wrestling entrances I've ever seen. It is so fucking cool looking.
Wasn't his face like bloody as hell too?
Yo, Penta's mask was ripped off and bloody 2 minutes into the match, and I think it was a 40-minute match.
You suck and that is sad. An AEW podcast. It's very good, very nice, very evil.
All right. We've talked a lot of wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot of wrestling today, gentlemen.
You know what I just did for the first time ever? recorded a
poop.
podcast. How about you guys?
Yes.
Do any of us know what we're doing?
No. I just watch people use cameras, so no.
Yes, you do. That's a story for another day. Phil knows what he's doing, thank God. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do this and have fun. We're just a bunch of buddies who don't get to talk with real voices to each other often enough. I guess we say thanks to anybody who does listen to this, the between 0 and 10 people who do listen. Thank you.
The 0 to 4, including us.
We do appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, we hope you come back.
AEW, you suck and that's sad.
The YSATS podcast.